movie review on the internet today, the A-List Review. I am your host, the Game Changer, Wes Truth. And today I'm here with a review of a movie that is back in theaters, well, a few days ago at least. It came back to theaters, and as part of the Turner Classic Movies, of course, re-releases. I like to check out these re-releases and review them if I haven't reviewed them yet. So this is one that I've actually never seen, and it's a musical, so everyone knows I love musicals, but sometimes I might not like them as much as other people like them, we'll say. And that's happened before with Carousel. If you've seen my review of that, I hated that movie. But who knows? So who knows how I'm going to feel about this one? Will I love this movie? Will I hate it? We're going to find out. My review of the 1958 romance musical, South Pacific, coming up now. Set during World War II on an island in the South Pacific, a young nurse and a French plantation owner fall in love, as do a young Marine and a young native girl. So what did I think of South Pacific? I thought it's a corny and tedious musical. It's based off of the Broadway musical and loosely based on the novel Tales of the South Pacific. While many have said that the stage show is much better than this film adaptation, in some aspects, I believe that a high school production would be superior. The show comes to us from Rodgers and Hammerstein, and I'd say as far as the music goes, I found myself loving some of the songs and hating some of the others. Some highlights are Happy Talk, There's Nothing Like a Dame, Bali High, Gonna Wash That Man Right Out of My Hair, and of course, Some Enchanted Evening. Most of the rest of the songs, though, are extremely forgettable and not even that likable. One of the most polarizing things about the film is its strange color filters during the musical numbers. The effect is used way too often here and quickly gets annoying. There's also some very questionable quote-unquote dancing, and the choreography itself seems quite lacking. There's also a performance for the soldiers that just brings the movie to a dead halt. I feel that scene could have been completely scrapped. I did like the beautiful locales the film is set in, and at least it was nice to look at. The film is very much a romance, as it gives us two different love storylines. One that I liked a lot more than the other, that being the one between the lieutenant and Liat. I feel the other story between Emile and Nellie was so drug out and easily could have been cut down a bit. A lot of the love songs they sang sounded the same, and I felt myself yelling, "Move it along," at the screen a few times. Since it deals with World War II, there are a couple of action scenes, but they're towards the finale, and while interesting, they kind of feel out of place after everything we just sat through. The story does tackle the subject of racism, so I'll give it some props for doing that before the 1960s. The pace drips as slow as molasses, as it gives us about 45 minutes worth of story, stretched all the way to almost 3 hours, which goes on way too long and is quite a chore. Other than Bloody Mary and Liat, I didn't really like the characters either and found them to be mostly boring. I thought the casting choices were odd as well, and sometimes the actors were giving unintentionally funny performances. The cast stars Rossano Brazzi as Emile Debec, a middle-aged French planner who's committed a murder in his past, Mitzi Gaynor as Nellie Forbush, the young U.S. Navy nurse who falls for Emile, John Kerr as Lieutenant Joseph Cable, the young Marine officer, Juanita Hall as Bloody Mary, the island's wheeler dealer, and France Nguyen as Liat, Mary's daughter who wants to marry Cable. South Pacific is a sappy and long experience that if musical fans haven't seen it yet, and while I did enjoy some of the musical numbers, you might want to watch the clips on the songs on YouTube instead to see if it's your cup of tea before dedicating the time to it. I'm going to give it the rating of meh. It's okay. Alright, well that's the show. I'll be back with another review very soon. But But until then, don't forget to subscribe right here on YouTube. youtube.com/westside515. Like the show on Facebook, facebook.com/WestTrueBaylist. And of course, you can follow me on the Twitter and the Instagram @WestAlist. Until next time, Troop out.